Welcome to the FX Options Weekly Outlook, a weekly podcast series hosted by Jason Ayres, a top instructor, trader, and founder of OptionSource.net. Join Jason as he discusses the latest trends in the Forex market with a look ahead on the US dollar versus the major currencies using the most commonly used technical indicators.
Hi there and welcome to the ISC FX Options Weekly Outlook for July 12, 2010. As always, this is Jason Ayres of OptionSource.net. Let's take a look at a weekly chart of the US dollar index. This is a great way to gain perspective as to how the US dollar has been trading against a basket of currencies. Well, the dollar index continues to test support within our 84-85 focal zone, putting some pressure on the uptrend that has been in force for several months. The daily chart reflects the importance of 84 as key support, although the index dipped below this level briefly. Consolidation back above the 84 and a half range will lend further credibility to a continuation higher. Let's take a look at the CDD, the US versus the Canadian dollar. While the CDD slipped lower as the US dollar tests support within our 102-103 focal zone, we expect a bounce here, which should see a test of 104-105. Let's take a look at the YUK, the US versus the Japanese yen. Well, the YUK bounced at 87 and now tests resistance at 88.89. The trend for the US dollar against the yen remains down, and a test of that trend line would see the pair hit 90. A break below 87 opens the window for a move towards 85. Next up, the EUI, the US versus the euro. Now, the US dollar lost considerable ground against the euro last week as the pair now tests support within our 78-79 focal zone. We expect a bounce at this level, which should yield a test of 80.5, 81.5. A break below 78.5 opens the window for a drop towards 76. The BPX, the US versus the British pound, bounced at 65 but still remains in a downtrend. We need to see a break above 67 to lend further credibility to a reversal from this downtrend that has been in place for quite some time. Let's take a look at the US versus the Australian dollar as seen here in the ISC FX options pair value AUX. Well, the US dollar lost considerable ground against the Australian dollar, testing our 113-114 focal zone for support. It appears as though a bull flag may be forming, and a break above 117 should lend further credibility. A break below 113 opens the window for a continuation to the downside. Let's take a look at a few of our key points. First of all, the US dollar index dipped below 84, testing the longer-term trend line last week. We need to see the index consolidate back within the 84-85 box to support a bullish reversal. The CDD pulled back as anticipated and now tests the 102-103 focal zone. A bounce here should test 105. The pair continues to appear range-bound between 102 and 107. The YUK is testing resistance within the 88-89 range. A push higher is likely to test the downtrend line, which should see the pair push 90. With the trend in force still being down, a break below 87 is likely to test 85. The EUI continued to drop last week, testing support at our 78-79 focal zone. We expect a bounce this week that should test the 80.5, 81.5 range. The BPX is showing some signs of reversal, pushing towards a test of the downtrend line that falls into the 66.5, 67 focal zone. A break above 67 will lend further credibility to a bigger picture reversal to the upside. The AUX rejected at 119, 120 focal zone, losing significant ground last week. The pair now tests support at 113, 114. We suspect a bounce at this level. It appears as though a large bull flag may be forming. However, we need to see more evidence of support at the 113, 114 focal zone to lend further credibility. And this has been your ISC FX Options Weekly Outlook for July 12th, 2010. As always, this is Jason Ayres of OptionSource.net. Thanks very much for joining me here this week. We'll see you here next week.
Thank you for participating in this week's session. Please join us again next week. For trading ideas, exchange rates, webinars, news, and commentary, visit www.fxoptions.com. Become an OptionSource.net member. Visit www.optionsource.net. ISC FX options can be easily traded through all options-enabled brokerage accounts. These exchange-listed securities are cash-settled in US dollars and have a European-style exercise.